Welcome back to NEMT Van Talks. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Monica.
And today we're going to talk about finding the right vehicle for your NEMT business. If you guys don't know, Monica and myself, we own and operate a non-emergency medical transportation company here in Orange County, California. We started our business in 2019, and the vehicle that we chose as our first vehicle was a 2019 full cut Dodge Caravan.
And actually, we decided to stay with that type of vehicle once we expanded our fleet. I guess because we love the Dodge Caravan. That vehicle is good, a good pick for us in our business and what we're trying to do currently. However, there are other vehicles that you can purchase if you choose to go a different route.
Yes. So I have to say, just like what Monica was saying, we did decide to go with the Dodge Caravan, and we, as we continue to grow our fleet, they're all Dodge Caravans as well. But I do kind of want to highlight that we are owner operators, so we are behind the wheel. So we know that the Dodge Caravan is very comfortable for our drivers, as well as our passengers. Our passengers are always raving about this van and how nice it is, how comfortable it is,
how the ride is really smooth. I think it's good when you're transporting individuals in a wheelchair because they don't feel all the bumps in the road. So those are just really good things to remember when you do decide the type of vehicle you're going to choose for your fleet. And
another thing is, in 2019, we had no idea that COVID was coming, right?
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, a lot of it, like if you were working with a broker or what have you, they would not allow you to multi-load your vehicles. So we were in a good position because we weren't doing a whole lot of multi-loading, especially when it came to wheelchair clients. We can fit 2 wheelchairs in our van, however, it's tight. So we rarely do that unless we have an emergent situation, or if we have like a husband and wife that would be riding together, which we do get some of those from time to time. But it was perfect because we had our wheelchair, and then we had, whether they had a caretaker or a family member riding along, we were, we didn't have the issue of wasting gas and things like that. Like if we had a huge vehicle and then this broker came and said, hey, you guys can't multi-load, can you imagine how much gas we would have wasted in a huge van for just one passenger?
And then, just in general, since things have changed so much, in the health industry, for me, and for us, it's just safer for us to transport less as possible inside of the vehicle. So if we, like, you're right, if we did have like a ProMaster, and you were
something large,
and you're only trying to accommodate 2 individuals at one time, and you have this large vehicle, like you're spending so much money in gas on that vehicle. But there are other vehicle options out there. Yes. The Ford Transit is one, and we looked at that vehicle as well when we were shopping around for our first vehicle,
which is good. Like if you're gonna do like gurney and stuff like that, definitely explore that option. The Dodge Caravan, they're no longer making those, so they replaced those with the Voyager.
The Dodge Caravan unfortunately are discontinued now, and then they do have the Voyager, but do you see those vehicles often?
I don't really see them often, so I can't, of course you would have to do your research and find out, are they good vehicles to transport in? Because honestly, I don't see much of them. And it could be because of the cost too. I think they're like 60-something thousand brand new. Because
that's another thing. When we purchased our vehicle, we spent like 35, 34, maybe a little bit less than that. Brand new, I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden, like within the next year to COVID, the prices
skyrocket.
Yeah.
So now the 2000, well, I'm not gonna say 2000, but the Dodge Caravan brand new, you're looking at probably 50 something thousand, 60,000 just for a brand new vehicle that we paid 35,000 for. So
yeah. So
if we were to do it again, I would say that at the cost of 50 and 60,000 for one vehicle, we probably would just go ahead and buy used, because of course the depreciation and everything as well. So just do what's smart for your operation, I would say.
But again, though, you can consider too, if you just want to get started in this industry and you just cannot afford to purchase a wheelchair van. At this moment, you can consider a sedan. You can transport patients using a sedan vehicle as well. So those individuals that are ambulatory and just need a little assistance getting in and out of the vehicle, you can transport those individuals. You can transport individuals that are transferable, meaning they're in a wheelchair, they need assistance getting in and out of that wheelchair. So those are just things to keep in mind if you do want to just get started and you do have a vehicle that you may not be using at this time. So yeah.
Yeah, but you also want to consider how easy is it, because how easy is it for the client to get in and out of the vehicle. So like, let's just say for instance you have something really small, or if you have like a coupe or something, that would not be an ideal vehicle for this industry, because we're dealing with seniors and people with disabilities that have a hard time getting around, or that have compromised mobility issues. But like Monica said, like if you just are in a place where you want to hop into this industry, but you just don't have the funds right now to purchase a wheelchair van, certainly start with what you have, and then reinvest that money that you get coming in until you're able to purchase your wheelchair van. Like I said, just going back to the vehicles, there are a lot of people that have Toyota Siennas. Of course, Toyota, they have a good reputation. We personally don't have Toyota Siennas. They're actually pretty high in price.
Pretty pricey.
But I heard good things about those vehicles. Also, when purchasing used, you want to make sure that the vehicle is ADA compliant. If you're going to be working with brokers, Medi-Cal, or even contracting with some of the major insurance companies, that is going to be a requirement. So you want to make sure that the vehicle is ADA compliant. Especially
that's I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Jasmine, but that's good to remember if they do decide to go used, because a lot of places will do a conversion on your vehicle if it's a used vehicle and you may not know. So it's a good idea to just make sure that it is compliant. So it's up to you to check that vehicle and make sure that it's still meeting the guidelines and the regulations for that vehicle.
Yeah, and you can actually go online and just Google the requirements for the ADA wheelchair accessible vehicles, and just take your measuring tape out there just to make sure that everything is squared away and good to go. Also, another thing is with the conversions. If you have a Dodge Caravan, you can get that van converted into a wheelchair vehicle. However, it used to be like 10,000-12,000 for the conversions, but they actually went up in cost. I think they're upward of almost 20,000.
$20,000 now.
So I think it would probably just be your best bet to just go ahead and buy a vehicle that's already converted. And then also with the conversions, your vehicle has to be a 2014
or older.
No, or newer.
I'm sorry, you're right.
And then there also is some restrictions on the mileage. Like it has to be under a certain mile. So you definitely just kind of want to call around. A lot of the mobility mobility auto sales places, they actually, some of them do conversions where they'll send it off. So if you just pick up the phone and call them and just inquire about conversions, I'm sure they would be happy to give you all the information that you need. But I think, like I said, our 2019 has, our Dodge Caravans have been great.
Yep.
And I have no complaints. We haven't had any major issues. Granted, we've only been in business since 2019. It's 2022, but we just stay up on our maintenance,
tire rotation, all the basic routine. And so you're right, we haven't had any major issues with any major maintenance done to the vehicle, so that is great. So again, and then also, just again, like Jasmine mentioned, it just depends on how many individuals you're trying to accommodate at one time when you're looking to choose your vehicle. So just do your research, do your due diligence, shop around, compare prices, and hopefully you'll make the right decisions for your business.
Yes, and also I know we didn't touch on this in the beginning of the video, but also, like, if you're looking for wheelchair accessible vehicles, you can easily just Google wheelchair accessible vehicles in my area and just look at some of the local mobility car dealerships that are in your area. There also is, if you want to buy like pre-owned, you can go on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes you can go into these groups on Facebook. There's people that are selling vehicles. To get the best price, you may have to go outside of your area to find something that's affordable, and that's a good catch. So
but even when you're looking at these on these different sites that Jasmine just mentioned, just make sure you're smart and looking at these different sites, and you do take a look at the vehicle, test drive the vehicle before you just make an investment on that type of vehicle, because it is, it's a lot of money. So you just want to make sure that you are choosing, again, the best vehicle, and you are doing your research when doing that.
And like with anything that we buy used, you're always going to take a risk. You're always going to take a risk with it. So just if you got $15,000 to spend on a vehicle, don't put that whole $15,000 on that new vehicle, because what if it requires repairs and things like that? So just set $2,000 or $3,000 aside, just in case something happens where you have to go and get it fixed. So you definitely want to do that. And I hope that we kind of touched on just a little bit of the information regarding finding a vehicle for your operations. We do offer coaching services, so if you're interested and you want more information, or if you have additional questions, the link is below. Feel free to schedule a consultation with us. We will certainly go more in detail with you as far as finding a vehicle for your business and any other thing you may have questions about or need assistance with. Also, if you have not downloaded our ebook, we have a free ebook. We're also going to leave the link to the free ebook down below, so go ahead and check it out. It's just an outline of how to get started in this industry. And like always, we just want to help, and we want to be a resource for new NEMT operators that are looking to get into the industry.
Step into this industry. And if you have any any advice or anything you want to suggest, or any videos you would like for us to make, please share that information, drop that information down below in the comments. We do take a look at the comments, and we do take that information in mind as well when we do decide our next topic, and the things that we're going to discuss on this platform. So we would love to hear from you as well. Okay.